Hi there, my name's Nick, and I've always been told that I'm eccentric, odd, weird, or downright crazy. As it turns out, I have both autism and ADHD, which as a combo make me conspicuously quirky. Today, I'd like to talk about language and how autistic people often take things quite literally. Now, one of the problems people on the autism spectrum have is taking things literally. We can be very precise in our language, both in receiving language from others and in transmitting what we want to say. Now, this causes a lot of problems. Now, I personally understand that if someone says to me, take a seat, it means I should sit down and not pick up the seat and ask where I should take it. But for a lot of people on the spectrum, that is exactly what they would do. I have learned over time to pause and consider what someone might mean, because I got bullied at school for taking things too literally. But even if I'm smiling and nodding at you, behind the scenes, I'm constantly having to stop and analyze what you've just said and whether you actually want me to perform a specific action or whether there is another secret meaning, and scan frantically for clues as to what I'm actually supposed to do. I've learnt to cover that very well, but inside, it's something I really do struggle with. I'm wary about getting close to people where I live, because when I moved here, someone said to me, all the friends are taken. The friends are all mine. Now, this person also said that they didn't like me, which was fine, but I've taken this very much to heart, very, very seriously. And though I attempt to socialize to a degree, I'm very careful not to make friends, because the friends are not allowed to be mine. Dance like nobody is watching. Well, now that sounds like fun, and I've tried doing that a lot. But this means that the way I dance tends to be different from the way other humans do it, so I get stared at a lot, and I have to be very careful not to make people, or not to knock people and make them unconscious. I don't follow the normal human female mating ritual way of doing identical movements in a circle around handbags until a male intervenes to make you dance with him. I don't understand that. Catch you later. This is a confusing phrase for me. Someone wants to catch me later in the day. Now, I know they don't want to play chasey with me, but does it mean they want to come over to my house and grab me for a play or a wrestle? Or am I supposed to go somewhere to meet them? And is something then supposed to happen? Does it mean we're going to have a drink or a coffee or something later that day? What are we going to do? What should happen next? And I become very confused and wonder what I'm supposed to do for the rest of the day before I do the catching or am caught or whatever. It's odd. Call you later is another one. This one I tend to take as an absolute promise. If someone says they're going to call me later, I expect that to happen. I will make sure that I've completed all the tasks for the day as quickly as possible so that I am ready for this call. In case they do phone and ask to come over, who's generally really terrible at housework, will start to madly clean the house. I will put out new towels and soaps and fold up the toilet roll nicely into a little pointy triangle thing. Maybe I'll bake a cake or go out and buy a selection of cheese and fruit, or maybe a bottle of wine or a 6-pack of beer or something. If this person is a male that I have an interest in, I will probably change the bed linen. I get very excited by this phrase because it means something wonderful might happen. So once everything is clean and tidy and all the food and drink and everything's prepared, I make sure I'm also clean and tidy and wearing nice clothes instead of comfy daggy ones. And then I will sit down and wait. And wait. And wait. I can sit immobile for hours with a phone next to me, completely unable to do anything else because I am waiting for this promised call. When it doesn't happen, then good old RSD kicks in. Yep, that's a thing neurodiverse people suffer from. Rejection sensitive dysphoria. And it is horrible. I completely fall apart. To me, not getting that call is the end of the world. The pain and rejection is so intense, I will fall into a deep pit of depression. It becomes quite dangerous. But taking things literally also works in reverse. I tend to be very precise with my wording when I'm expressing something important to me. With males, this directness seems to be okay. I think male humans tend to be a bit more direct, mostly, I think. But in general, female humans are not. Female humans have an entirely different language. They have like sisterhoods and clubs and cliques, and they huddle and they do weird things. I'm not part of a sisterhood, nor a female club, nor clique. In general, I think female humans are the weirdest things we have on the planet. I don't get them, and they don't get me. But there are a couple of lovely exceptions. There's a couple of female humans that I like, and yeah, friends. Sort of to a point, as much as I can do that. I find that if I say something precise to a female, it will generally come back to me as something completely different. There seems to be an entirely different layer of language that I do not see or hear. It's not unusual for a female to get really cross and shouty with me about something that I know I haven't said. So I will dig in and state that I have not said this thing, and then I am told what I did actually say, and then given the apparent translation. This is confusing. When I get, "You said this, which means that. I know that is what you mean." And it isn't. If I thought that and wanted to say that, then I would have said that. I don't have a middle secret meaning. This discrepancy has caused all manner of problems my entire life, and as a consequence, I'm deeply wary of opening myself up to other females. So if you are a female in my life and I talk to you, it means that you are precious and rare, and I thank you for being you. Bullying and rejection are learned consequences of being myself around females. Linguistically, we are mostly incompatible. In fact, I think it's the literal language complications more than anything else that make me feel other than human. So please, if you are talking to an autistic person, continue the conversation. If you're not sure what we mean, gently find a way through to us. Ask us nicely if you don't understand. Listen to the precise wording, because we don't have hidden meanings. Don't assume we do, and please don't get mad. Just be gentle with us. Thank you. Be well.